All right, this is a module 4, um, module 4, and we're going to talk about conic section. This is part of the conic section. Conic section. They call it conic section because it comes from a cone, right? Think about like that. This is a cone, and then let's see, this is your cone. If you cut the cone in the if you cut the cone this way, then you're gonna see a circle there. Or maybe if you cut like that, maybe you can see yeah, circle, right? But if you cut it in a sideways, you're gonna see the cone in a sideways, you're gonna see like this shape. It's oval shape, right? It's called ellipse. It comes from the ellipse, right? If you have a cone like this, and then if you cut it like this, then you're gonna see the cone looks like that. So you're gonna see like a parabola there, right? Now if you, let me erase this one. So if you have a cone, if you put two cones together here like that, and if you cut it with something here, you're gonna see this side, and then you're gonna see it like that, and that's a hyperbola. All right, hyperbola looks like this together, right? I mean, and also you can have like that together. That's a one hyperbola, or this is a one other hyperbola. Okay, that's what we're going to talk about in next few videos. All right, so these are all conic part of the cone, so that's what they call it, conic section. And we already talk about the circle, but now we're going to talk about a little more about parabola. All right, so parabola is this one. What is really parabola? Think about like there is like a one point. Somebody give you a point, like that's a point, right? That's a point, and a line. All right, so somewhere like maybe it could be point and then line. They give you that, right? So find a point between that, like exact the middle point between this points and the line, right? So that's a 1 point. Now collect all the points which are same distance away from the line and the point. Like say, let's see, another point is somewhere here. That's exactly same distance from line and the point. If you collect all the points, right? I don't know, could be here. This distance and that is same. So if you collect all that point, the shape's gonna, if the collection of all the points is gonna be looks like a parabola. Okay, that's the basic concept about parabola, right? And this point, that tip point, we call it vertex. All right, so vertex is there, and that point, what we talk about initially, that's called focus. That's a focus point. And then the line I'm talking about in the beginning, that's called directrix. All right, directrix, like that. Okay, that's all you need to know here. So you need to know what is the directrix, what is the vertex, what's a focus, and then how do I graph this parabola. All right. Now you know the parabola we divide it into two different cases. One is parabola opens up or opens down. Right? Sorry, bad. Opens down or opens up. That's one kind of parabola. And another sets of parabola, it opens right or opens left. All right, two sets of parabola. So I mean, because their equation is very similar, so that's why we divide it into two different sections on this one, right? All right, so let's talk about the opens up or opens down. Now, we are familiar with opens up parabola because y equal to x squared. Everybody familiar with that one, right? So y equal to x squared opens up. If there's a negative x squared, then opens down, right? So we know that one. So start with this one. So my equation for the parabola opens up or opens down looks like x minus h squared equal to, now we're going to put 4p y minus k. Now what are these, right? So hk is just a shift, like a instead of the vertex, this is a vertex point, that's a vertex. Instead of the vertex is in xy, that's an origin, it's shift to, I don't know, h this way and k up this one. That could be a parabola. So that's your hk. That's your hk. All right, so how much shift from the x, how much shift from the y? And then P is the distance. P is this distance from focus to your vertex. That's your P distance. And that's exactly same as from a vertex to a directrix. And that's also P. All right. So that is the equation looks like this. Now, if P is greater than 0, it opens up. Now, if I go down here, I think it's all clear here. If P is greater than 0, it opens up. If P is less than 0, it opens down. All right, and vertex is HK. All right, and then one more thing is, so this line which divides this parabola into two pieces, like this line, it's called axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. I think I forgot to tell you that that's another terms you might have to remember. Axis of symmetry. Okay. All right. So if you look at this parabola, if you look at here, this parabola, look at that. This parabola is HK is the vertex. If you go up P unit, that's going to be H is still horizontal same, but K goes up. So that's why that focus, this is your focus. That's your focus. You have one focus on a parabola. Each parabola has their own focus. And the focus is going to be this. HK is this one. So K, now P units down. So K, this is like a whatever K plus P. All right. All right. So remember that P is, in this case, your P is negative, is less than 0. So that's why it's plus P there, right? So remember that. If your HK is, let's see, HK is 3, I don't know, 3, 4. Then if your P is negative 2, then is what is that? Your focus is 3 comma 4 minus 2 is 2. That's going to be 4 minus 2. All right, that's a focus is going to be 3 comma 2. All right. All right, let's look at the example. And before we do example, what about do we have example? Okay, let's look at the example, and then we still have time. Okay, let's look at this one. This is very easy. This one, like if you look at this, x squared minus y. Let's compare with this x minus h squared equal to 4py minus k. See that? What did I do? I don't know. Like that. Okay. So if you look at this one, h and k, there's nothing there. So you're not shifting x and y in a direction. So your vertex is going to be 0, 0 in the origin. Right? HK both are 0, 0. And then now we need to figure out P. So remember that 4P is equal to, if you look at this one, I have just the Y there, right? So that means P, there's a coefficient, it's just the 1. So it's going to be 1. So that means P is going to be 1 over 4. All right. So now if we want to draw this one, so I'm going to draw x and y, vertex is 0, 0. So start with that. Now your focus is 1/4 away from the vertex. So that means you go up 1/4. Let's see, this is 1/4, and go down 1/4, and that's your directrix. That's your directrix. That's a y equal to negative 1/4. And your focus is going to be 0, 1/4. That's a point, right? And then you just have to draw your parabola. That's it. You can find one more extra point if you want it, but I don't care for right now. You just draw the shape. All right. At least try at least one point. If I want to find a point, that's like I could choose x equal to, if x equal to 4. Or I think that's too big, right? Let's x equal to 2. If x equal to 2, that means what is y? 2 square is 4. So if x equal to 2, 1, 2, that's going to be 2, 4. All right, and then same thing, if x equal to -2, x equal to -2, you can say y x equal to y is also 4, so -2 is also 4. So you can see, you can find other points. All right, let's do, what about, let's talk about this one, right? So again, horizontal orientation means it opens sideways, right? It opens right means positive. This is x is positive side, means your p is bigger than 0. If it opens left means your p is less than 0. All right, so same equation like that, but remember that in this case y square, right? Y minus k. So it's again, hk is your vertex, hk is your still a vertex, and p is the distance from your vertex to this distance is p again. Remember that this distance is p, and then directrix distance, that's also p. That's this distance is also p. From directrix to focus is also directrix to vertex is also p. And the same thing the way we did it before, right? But remember that y square, whenever there is a y square, you have a opens right or left. All right, let's look at example here quick. See, this one is, you see y square, oh, it should be sideways, right? Again, now this term is positive, so its p is positive. So again, 4p is positive, is 1, so p equal to 1/4 again, right? So that means it opens up, and then your vertex is 0, 0, because you see that there's no h and k, so vertex is 0, 0, which is that, and then you're gonna go 1/4 unit to the right, that's a 1/4, so that's gonna be 1/4, 0, that's a focus, and then you're gonna go 1/4 this way, so that's a 1/4. So in this case, x equal to -1/4 is my directrix. Okay, and then you can find another point, and you can draw this one. So it's everything's here, you can look at it. Okay, so now I'm gonna do some problems here in the next video.